Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, and more. Why so many places? I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness and balance out all of those ugly headlines that will leave you with the case of 4 A's: angry, anxious, afraid, and aggravated. I don't want those A's. I want you to feel amazing when you're done with this show. That's why I have topics and guests and series and co-hosts do that. And for the past 710 consecutive weeks, but who's counting? And today's no exception. You know him as one of my co-hosts of Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
James Hawthorn. Good morning, everybody.
He's an actor. He's a fitness guru. He's my all the single, not ladies, but all the single people, and our specific niche on this particular series with James is, of course, dating and relationships. So please welcome back to my studio, James Hawthorn. And there you go. You had a little residual foam there, and I did, it is Friday, but let's I have to admit, I just finished an interview. There's a company that uses me for special, PSAs and stuff like that. And this was last minute gifts. And she said, the nuts.com people have this product that has nuts in Santa's pants.
Well, where else would they be?
And it's like literally this Santa's pants. I was like, I was so close to being a bad girl. So anyways, let's start with breakfast with nuts and Santa's pants for the protein. What is breakfast? Those of you who are new to the show, welcome. And we like to start every show with a bite of my gratitude sandwich with whoever's on with me in the morning. So top of the bun is things that we're grateful for as we look outside of ourselves. Bottom of the bun, last thing we do before we go to bed is look for things that we're grateful for inside of ourselves. So that's the gratitude sandwich. James, tell me, what are you grateful for this morning?
I'm loving this winter heat wave. I was able to go to Malibu last Saturday and swim in the ocean, just rocking a Speedo. Somehow, the ocean is still 63 degrees. Should be 56, 57 this time of year. And 63 means Speedo for me.
That's cute.
I got a wetsuit, but it's such a pain in the butt to put it on, take it off, because it's not like a surfing wetsuit. It's a triathlon suit, so it's skin tight. It's hard to get it on. And so it's nice to just be able to jump in near naked, Starting spicy this morning for our listeners and viewers.
Oh, I thought you didn't hear the how hard was it. But anyways, okay. So yes, the downside of this weather is my Christmas sweaters are hot. It's difficult to get in the season with my ugly cute Christmas sweaters when it's so warm outside, but I'm not complaining. I am grateful that my voice is an asset. in the work that I get to do. And I do love the fact that I was born on the day of the Velvet Voice. For those of you who've missed any of my, it's like tarot cards for your birthday. Have we done yours? What day were you born on?
Yeah, we did. Well, we did it with, I think like around Chinese New Year and what animal I am and what, I think we did it for that. I don't know if we did it for like actual tarot cards and for dating and all of that.
Well, whoa.
Normally I have to go down to Venice Beach to get a tarot card reading like this. This is great. You get to do it right here on the air, perhaps.
Yeah, no, it's not a tarot card. It's called, you see that on the day that you were born?
It's a little blurry, but.
Is it blurry? Okay. It's called On the Day That You Were Born. It's a coffee book table. What's your date? I should know.
Friday, February 1st, 1985.
Friday, February 1st.
That's right, folks. I'm loud and proud about being 40, soon to be 41. I'm just going to hold that.
We went to the party. You had a great party. February, one more time.
Pardon me?
February
1st, 1985, Friday. Loud and proud.
Born on the day of willfulness.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah?
You have a stubborn streak, and I'm a very determined individual.
That's so funny.
I pursue things doggedly that I care about. I've had to learn how to tone that down in the dating world, in relationships.
You are distinguished by your strong, earthy, but mental nature. Not content with abstract speculations, those born on this day must impress their ideas on the minds of those around them. Headstrong, willful, and courageous, they know that they are in the right and will not give 1 inch. Your strengths are strong-willed, mentally quick, and grounded. Weaknesses, stubborn, overly rational, and self-unaware. I would say not that. The last one's not true. You're very self-aware. So.
Well, that one has definitely been something that I've worked on over the years, especially living in LA, trying to be an actor. You have to be aware of yourself and who you are, because before you can play another character, you've got to be able to play yourself and say, how do I feel about this? How would I feel if this happened to me? So you can draw some truth with your performance. It's funny. I always say that acting is like life distilled down in a concentrated manner, because to make other people believe the story that you're trying to tell, you have to believe it with every fiber of your being, and really live in it. And so, it requires an extreme amount of being present. And isn't that a valuable skill for life in general? That's probably, speaking of gratitude, that's probably the thing I'm most grateful for all the years I've been out here banging away in acting. We're
on it Friday.
It may be more equipped for life in general. Help me cultivate some areas of weakness, such as self-awareness.
Well, Desiree Mulligan's in the house. She is my captain for the Cashew Gallery this morning. She's first one in. Those of you who are not driving and listening right now on my 8 a.m. drive time on KCAA, NBC News Radio, I would encourage you to come to my YouTube TV channel, which I am live every forking weekday morning. And so Desiree caught that, and she asked what the book was. It's called The Secret Language of Birthdays. I just popped it up here. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, it's not moving in. I have to do this so you can see it better. But it is a crazy book of truth telling. Those of you who were here for Ricky's birthday show, guess what his is? You know Ricky quite well. You both are my Straight Talk co-hosts, even neither one of you are straight. But guess what day he's born on?
I have 365 guesses.
He's born on the day of Bigger Than Life.
Well, that's true. And he was dressed to the nines at that party. I'm like, that is an outfit, Yeah,
it was the designer's outfit, actually.
What's that?
That was the designer's outfit that they were modeling. And I was also offered to wear one of the designer outfits, but it would have not looked as good on me as Ricky's did on his. There was a little too much skin showing, even for me. So that was, yeah. So the book is pretty. Isn't that interesting,
I
though?
mean, that's so accurate. And like, yes, all those things are true. And I've had to learn to cultivate my heart side, my creative side, my learning to think in the abstract and cultivate, live from that imaginative place instead of that, everything must be planned and predicted place. That's been a
Mhm.
life journey for me, I would say. So it's
Yeah.
so accurate. It's very true.
Yeah, and we can definitely use that in our application today when we talk about dating and relationships. It's turnabout is fair play. So I'll just read you the first paragraph of mine so you can laugh
Yes.
at me.
Good.
August 10th, people project their image forcefully on the world around them.
No.
Theirs is a voice that literally must be heard. It is noteworthy that their mode of expression often assumes equal importance to the content of their statement. Thus, matters of style and technique figure prominently in their communication. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Strengths attractive, fun, vocally seductive. Weaknesses needy, lacking in self trust. Is that crazy?
That's wild.
I'm telling you,
So
it's like
wild.
exactly. And anyways, we're getting off topic, but I thought it was interesting enough to go there since you raised it. And let's see, I'm grateful for learning new things every single day. I love that and this is the bottom of the button. What do you like about yourself? Weight training to like yourself a little more, to approve of yourself, and frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to? That's why we do the bottom of the bun. So if you don't like yourself, join me every weekday morning because we do the bottom of the bun every day because I like it on the bottom. But seriously, um, being able to look at yourself, James was talking self-aware, and then acting and soothing, not self-critical. We're all so hard on ourselves. Let's fall asleep liking ourselves, and we'll have a smile on our face, even if we're not with anyone. There you go. So, James, what do you like about yourself?
I like how easily enthused I am. There's easily amused, but easily enthused. I get really excited over things, and that helps fuel my desire to, work harder at them and give myself into them. And it's like it's key to intrinsic motivation. The more I throw myself into something, the more enthusiastic I am about it, the more I like it. Studies show that that's true for anybody. Like, if you, let's say you like your job, you don't love it, if you really like give everything you got to it, studies show that after a few months of that, you actually like your job more because you're more intertwined. You're not constantly fighting yourself and, oh, is this right for me? You're not constantly questioning. You're living and embracing your present circumstance. And so they say that's true for most people, but I think I have that enthusiasm and abundance for everything that I do. And as long as I keep the right mindset and perspective, I can stay in that place of enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's a law of attraction in action. They say that if you want to leave, if you don't like your partner, or if you hate your job, you're just going to replicate that in the next situation you're in. So the best way to leave something is to appreciate, be grateful for it, and that way what's coming next will be infinitely better. So that definitely applies to people as well as we as we do this extreme sport called dating. All right. Thank you very much for joining us for breakfast every weekday morning. It's a good life habit. I promise you, if you, have this hashtag Blisscipline and start with gratitude in the morning and end with appreciation at night, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day.
Well, we were going to start with I think you wanted to start with some the triple D dating. I forget the third D. Something of daily dating disaster. It's a lot of dating.
Dating disaster for the day is what
Sure.
I've been calling it.
So we're starting with that because I think we got some stories here, which are going to be really fun to listen to. And we're not going to throw a pity party. We're going to turn it around into a constructive, positive thing as we do here. And then we were going to maybe talk about to date or not to date. That is the question. And that means is there are periods in our life where I think we are primed to go on those dates and meet those, special people. And then there's other seasons of life where maybe that's not the time to make that the central focus. And I'll put my moose on the table, and no, that's not naughty for any other part of me. It's actually the moose that she's holding up right there. It's Canadian version of, we're gonna call out the elephant in the room. Yeah, so we're going to talk about seasons in our life and recognizing when we might be at our best for dating and when maybe it doesn't have to be something that we prioritize.
Sounds like a plan. And I've realized that I think that dating, I'm gonna, instead of getting discouraged by the wild and wacky things that I encounter while I'm swipe or no swiping, and saying, oh, this isn't the time. Obviously, I'm being shown by the universe that there's no matches here, and it's kind of nutty. I've realized that it's a great way to constantly have new material for my stand-up. So that is an awareness that I kind of like because one, it takes the pressure off, and I don't take it so personally. When I'm on the phone with someone and they have very little on their profile and they have very, that you can't tell what they do, can't tell, where they like their experiences are. I got nothing to go by in order to start talking. Except, excuse me, what do you do for work and play? Common question. Well, I'm not really doing anything. I am a disabled. I'm disabled, and excuse me. I think there was another word he used. I can't remember, and I'm like, oh, so wanting to, not hang up, but like, okay, this is self-awareness, and you're and what are you disabled with? And it was I don't know, a couple of different diagnoses. And along with PTSD. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm assuming you're, getting some help for that. Oh no, it's fine. I'm fine. And I'm like, okay, where do I go from here? And it was truly one of those, and we can talk about this. It's like to date or not to date, to tell or not to tell. I mean, at what point do you sort of, my first trimester of relationships, pregnancy model, right? The first third, you want to be the best you can be. The second third trimester is when you get, swollen ankles and, the reality of who you are. And everybody's not perfect, right? So you have the good side as you're selling your fruit, and then you turn over the other side of the papaya and you see all the warts and stuff. And it's like, at what point do you do that? Maybe is the lesson out of that one. But I was just like quite surprised at that. And then when I said you're not getting help for that, it took a turn for the worse as far as the conversation. And when I mentioned,
did he feel judged when you asked him about help?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it wasn't meant as a judgment. I mean, look, this is what I do, right?
Right.
For a living. But I don't think it's an mm, I mean, unexpected or out of the, realm of reality for me to ask that question.
No, I mean, it really it doesn't. He doesn't have to necessarily take that as a judgment. I mean, it's more just carry. It could be construed as just carrying on the conversation. Like, tell me about your journey with that. Is what it could mean. And so, to get immediately defensive, sometimes I think it's good, right? Seek first to understand before being understood. And I always like to ask clarifying questions if somebody says something that initially rubs me the wrong way, just to make sure that I'm, interpreting it appropriately. I apologize for the background noise. Somebody has turned on a leaf blower. I'm
No
going to just
worries.
make sure that all my windows are completely closed to try to mitigate that.
Yeah, it's just a little white noise. It's fine.
Okay,
So,
good. If it becomes an issue, let me know.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, so that was kind of surprising. I've also changed up. Um I think you know my process, right? I match or I swipe, I match, and then I ask that first question that we've modified based on some feedback from you and Dr. Tiffany. And I say, before I get my hopes up, uh, I'm allergic to cats and politics. And so then they come back with, I have a cat, and there's been like a third with the cat. So that, it's been like they're so sad, which is nice. And then, after that, instead of getting on video, because I've now realized that I am so visually judgmental on what people look like, that I get on the phone first and just talk and see if there's what I'm looking for is a balance between talk all the time and not talk at all. So I had another date where, again, I don't know why I'm attracting these guys that literally don't stop talking. Remember that one that the lady came over and said, "You're talking too much to my date." I mean,
Right.
literally. And then the next one was like yawning when I would talk, the very little time that I would talk. I had another one, and this was at a sushi restaurant, and he was a doctor. And I don't think I've told you about this one, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so we're having, and he talked again the whole time. And when I would like interject anything, it was and then launch off to his, how he's one of the few with this degree and this degree. And it was just like unbelievable. The like an hour, 58 minutes he was talking. So it was quite the wow. So what I did was, when I had talked to him on the phone, he told me things that he didn't like, right? So when I mentioned I played mahjong,
Uh-huh.
he said, "Well, at least it's in the daytime, because nighttime is, the gambling aspect, and at least you're not." I dated a girl that played mahjong all the time, right? Right. So this, I knew about him. So as this is progressing, I started saying, "Well, I every day this week I have a mahjong tournament." So by the time he finished eating, he was like, "I am out of here." It was so funny because every single thing I would be like, to the point where I have never had anybody, like, literally he stood up and he said, um, "You're welcome to stay, but I have to go because traffic's really bad." It was 1:30. Travis, and he lives up in Santa Monica or something like that. Because, but I've got to go. And he literally, and then he had paid for the bill, which was good. And then I looked at how much tip he left. $4.
So like almost nothing.
Yeah. Thank God I opened it and added some. But I wasn't gonna offer to leave the tip or pay, right? That's what he was looking for. But wow, James, that was like one of those. Whoa, it's got to be for stand up because nobody is going to believe that all of this is true. Every one of my crazy stories is true, and isn't that great? It'll keep everything fresh on my stand up.
Totally, totally. You know what's interesting to me when you were speaking about how a lot of these guys just talk and talk and talk and talk. I was thinking how different causes can lead to the same outcome, and like I'm thinking, why would somebody or so many people do that? And it can't all be for the same reason. Not every guy, is a self-obsessed narcissist. I think some of it is also due to just insecurity. And when people feel insecure, they blah 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 blah. They blather, they talk because they're seeking signs of approval from you or whatever it might be. And because you're a successful multi-hyphenate, guys that aren't out there moving and shaking as much as you are, might feel insecure. And it doesn't excuse the behavior because you have to, legitimately have interest in the other person and listen. My dad always said, the Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that ratio, 2 to 1. Listen more than you talk. But it's just so fascinating to me that on a date, the behavior can be the same, but the cause could be entirely different. One is self-obsessed, cocky, overly confident. The other is completely insecure. And I think both, can contribute, to that same effect. Just, different people end up doing the same behavior for different reasons. I just find that interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's definitely, dating in HD. Hope, disappointment, hope, disappointment. Now I'm not going to have hope. It's material. It's good for stand up. It's good that is so that way it doesn't, it's more funny than irritating. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. All right. Let's see. Let's do you have any lately?
I don't, which is kind of what inspired me to create this topic. I've just been so busy with personal training stuff lately and lots of auditions coming in at the end of the year, and just really focused on building out this corporate Zoom personal training that I've been doing. It's such an opportunity that I'm really throwing myself into that and behind that. And I just don't feel like I have the time or the energy to do all the swiping and the lead up to the dates. That said, if I'm out and about and I see somebody attractive, I'm going right up to them, getting their number, trying to arrange a date. But it's because I'm already there and they're right in front of me. So I get to skip all the swiping steps and all the preliminary. And I'm like, yep, meets the physical. I like their vibe, their energy, feeling that. Let's see if I can create a date. So I'm taking a more streamlined, direct approach, just due to how full my plate is right now with other things that are really important to me. So,
well, that might be the answer, or that might be the I would say the trick. It's not a trick, but the key to unlock that, because they do say if you're not looking, that's when it happens. That's one adage. But you actually did talk about this the last time we were on. This was your new strategy. So this is not new. This is part 2 of the decision of doing this. So
it's an evolution. There's been an evolution in my thinking around it. Like I used to have a case of the shoulds. So I'd be, you really should carve out some time to swipe. You really should carve out some time for this because it's what you ultimately want. And yes, while it is something that I ultimately want and is a priority, it's just not at the top of the priority list right now, not in this season. So I've got my toe in the water, but, it's just if I see somebody, I go for it. It's a very opportunistic way of dating. It's like a predator in the African savannah. See the gazelle, chase it, eat it. But I'm not out there walking for miles in the hot, dry heat, looking.
I'm having another Santa's pants and the nuts in Santa's pants moment because of the visual of you eating an animal after chasing it. So with that, I better take a break for news, weather, traffic, and a word from our sponsor.
Very naughty today. Coal in your
Very
stocking.
naughty. I cannot believe you just said that, knowing where my mind is and is going. But
I will not be held
anyway,
responsible for the proclivities of your mind, my darling.
oh my Lord Almighty. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be right back with more straight talk with myself and
James Hawthorn.
don't go away. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. Chuck Woolery, thank you for that, but we'll be back in less. I actually have a word from a specific sponsor that I did talk about earlier. So I hope if you're in this boat right now and you have no idea what you're going to get people for Christmas, this PSA announcement is for you. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. Most experts encourage early holiday shopping. But let's be honest, many of us still end up hunting for gifts at the last minute. Here to share how procrastination, I've always wanted to be a procrastinator, but I never got around to it. But may actually work in your favor is award-winning journalist and shopping expert Claudia Labana. Claudia is an Emmy and Peabody Award winner, congratulations, who regularly analyzes shopping trends for TV. Please welcome to my studio, Claudia Labana. Good morning, Claudia.
Good morning. I appreciate the warm welcome. That's lovely.
Good. Now, why are people still shopping at the last minute?
You said it best, procrastination. There are so many of us out there, myself included. We are expecting about 50% of U.S. shoppers to make purchases on Super Saturday, which is the last Saturday before Christmas happens. So if you're a procrastinator like me, you are not alone. The upside is that there are good last minute deals to be had. Retailers want to keep those consumers coming in until the last minute. So you are going to be able to find some surprise savings out there, even if you are shopping at the last minute.
Sounds good. Now, how about a great gift for the foodie or snack lover?
Yeah, we've got some great last minute ideas today. And for the snack lover out there, I love the snacks and treats and dried fruit and chocolates from nuts.com. Nuts.com, it has all these wonderful options, but they are such a good option for giving gifts. Now, nuts.com offers holiday tins. They've got gift boxes, festive picks like the Nutcracker Trio. They also have another fun one called Santa's Pants, which is full of delicious treats and chocolates and nuts. You can even personalize your own snack tray by choosing 5 out of 100 different options. So a nice little treat there for personalization. Now, Nuts.com is offering Christmas shipping through December 23rd. So that's really great for those last minute purchases. And new customers can save 20%.
It's a good thing this is an FCC children-friendly channel, or I'd say something about Santa's pants. Do you have a suggestion for outdoor enthusiasts?
Absolutely. So REI for me is the go-to when it comes to anything outdoors, whether you are a beginner or a seasoned adventurer. It just helps get everybody outside to give these types of gifts. They've got everything for every budget, from cozy hats to fun campfire games and gear. They even have their popular socks, which, by the way, they say they will sell more than 2 million pairs of socks this holiday season. Some other top picks include the REI Flash 22 backpack, which is great for school or work or weekend adventuring. And then their very popular Camp Snap digital camera. Now, the Camp Snap digital camera has no screen, so you can be present and in the moment. This has been a very popular gift item this year. REI has 195 stores, or you can shop at rei.com before December 18th for your standard shipping.
Great. Now let's talk tech. I was going to say turkey, but that's over. Let's talk tech. What's topping the list this year?
Cell phones, always at the top of the list for electronics for the last many, many years. This year is no different, but what is different is the amazing deal that we have for you from Metro by T-Mobile, which of course runs on America's best mobile network. Now, this is a deal with no gimmicks, just great value. They are offering the iPhone 16e free after rebate when you bring your number with you. Now, the plans start at $50 a month with auto pay. That includes taxes and fees monthly. You get unlimited talk, text, and 5G data with a 5-year rate lock. So this is really an incredible deal if you are in the market for an affordable upgrade or the gift of an iPhone 16e from Metro by T-Mobile.
Fantastic. What about a great gift for the homeowner?
This is a great one for the homeowner, but I also really like this as a host or hostess gift for all the holiday parties that we'll be going to. This is the GE LED Plus speaker and color bulb. Now, this is a memorable gift for the holiday season. It's not just a light bulb. This is actually a Bluetooth speaker built into the light bulb with customizable lighting. You can match any mood or celebration. It brings light, sound, color, so really you can fill any space with joy. The setup couldn't be more simple. You just screw in the bulb, you pair, and you play. You can have one bulb or you can have multiple throughout the house and pair them to play all the same music. Comes with 8 vibrant colors that will play along with your music, or you can select one color. You can even select the traditional beautiful soft white for year-round use. A really great last-minute gift, indoor and outdoor versions on this bulb. And you can go to shop.gelighting.com to have a look at this one.
I just love when I see something new that I've never seen before. This is definitely the gift for someone who has everything. Yeah. Anyone coming to my place, you know what to get. That's awesome. And where can we get more information for those of us who procrastinated to get on the show today? And
of course, you can head over to tipsontv.com.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Now go and have the best holiday ever. Thanks for coming in.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, and streaming everywhere, including live on my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe and give me the finger, this one, not the other one, you will get an alert every weekday morning to tune into the show about hope and happiness. And speaking of which, my co-host today has an offer for the holidays.
Indeed, I do.
He does. James, tell us what you're offering as the hashtag Asian Oprah giveaway or James Hawthorn giveaway.
So, hi everybody. If you message me at Action Man Fitness on Instagram and say that you're coming from the Dr. Marissa show, Straight Talk, I'm going to offer you my 7 pillars of good nutrition along with a grocery shopping list to help get you started. So rather than a fad diet or something like that, I want to help you build the lifestyle habits that are going to help you keep fat off, take fat off, and keep fat off. And these 7 pillars, they don't have to be applied all at once. You can apply 1 or 2 at a time, build the habit, layer on the next 2. And before you know it, you're going to be eating and living in a way where it's automatic, where it's not a chore or something that requires you to change your whole life. It's just going to be the way that you live. And it makes getting healthy and staying healthy so easy. And I'm going to share all that information with you totally gratis if you message me on Instagram. So rather than making it your New Year's resolution to lose weight or start eating better, do it now. If you can practice that discipline during the holidays, then you can do it any time of year. So don't hesitate to reach out at Action Man Fitness, all one word, on Instagram, and I will send you my 7 pillars of nutritional excellence with a grocery shopping list to get you started.
And there you have it. Welcome back to the show. Now you can see from that mini interview there, the sponsor interview, why I have been a little bit naughty. That was, there were so many things in there. There were even new things that I didn't realize. But anyways, we are talking about dating and relationships as we do on Straight Talk. And in particular, to date or not to date is one of the questions that we're answering today. I have answered that by saying, yes, I am dating to supply myself with great new material for my stand-up. Those of you who know that I am swiper, no swiping. That is the conclusion from the first half. April is here in the Cashew Gallery having some health issues. Good morning. All right. That's a
wishing
hello.
you health and wellness this holiday season, April. I hope that that Santa brings you good health and recovery.
Yeah. Thank you, James. That's very nice. All right. So, how do you let me just go back to one thing that I said when you were doing breakfast, James, on the law of attraction of when to date and when not to date. If you have had really bad experiences with dating, that is not the time to quit dating. So that's applying the law of attraction again. Can you appreciate and be a grateful dater? At that point, choose to not date. That'll be better than saying, screw it. This is a stupid. I can't believe the idiocy of guys out there. That's from me and my experiences. And this is ridiculous. And all the good guys are already married. And the ones that aren't are looking for a young, dumb version of, me. So I'm not interested in putting myself out there. I don't want to dip any part of my body into the dating pool. But that is not the way to end dating. But if you can, like James is saying, I enjoy dating. I've met some great people, but right now there's other priorities. And so instead of shitting on myself and saying, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that with the swipe or no swiping, to just accept, I think that's a good ease word, right? Are you accepting where you are without feeling like you're missing something? No FOMO. Abraham Hicks says you're satisfied with what is and eager for more. Satisfied with what is and eager for more.
Here's a similar one that I like when it comes to like accomplishments and reaching new heights in your life in any arena. Be momentarily pleased, but never satisfied. It's not like you've arrived just because you've gotten to the next level. It's, hey, this is a win. This is great. Let that fuel you for, further evolution in your own self-growth, for further accomplishment. If it's something, career or health or wellness or athletic driven, so it's take a moment to appreciate the win, but then roll up the sleeves again and say, all right, what's the next thing that I can conquer? Where's the next place where I can grow? What's the next level of enjoyment I can achieve? They say that our character is tested when times are tough, and that, applies to anything. Can you keep your faith? Can you keep your positive outlook when times are tough? It's easy when times are good, but when you can go out there and dance like no one's watching, love like
I
you've
do that
never
all
been
the
hurt.
time.
Exactly. You dance all the time. Love like you've never been hurt. I mean, when you can do those things, when you're not necessarily feeling your best, that builds character. I definitely believe that. But it's also okay, I think, if there's times when your priorities shift. So, I'm currently taking the streamline dating attack, as we talked about earlier, and seeing what, the universe brings my way. So I'm still staying in a place of openness, hope, desire to connect and build that relationship with somebody, but I'm not investing as much time to create those opportunities. I'm more going arms wide open and seeing what comes to me instead of, reaching right now. And that just feels right. So I stopped the should dialogue in my mind about, oh, I should be spending more time swiping to create dates, etc. Just because I have other things right now that just feel more important. But it's not, an all or nothing thing. It's just a shifting of the priorities. For those that are in the cashew gallery, I'm curious, if you're not driving, what signals do you get internally, whether mentally, emotionally, that tell you this is a time where I really want to, invest in dating, versus this is a time when I'm going to put that on the back burner? How does that feeling or intuition or message come to you? Because I know what my process, has been like. I'm curious to hear from other people. And Dr. Marissa, I know that you're continuing the swipe and date. Have there been times when you have been in a season where it just doesn't feel like a high priority? It feels like you're just less eager to do it, and what that feels like when that comes in.
7 years. I had no interest in dating at all. I'm my own best friend. I get to give myself flowers or whatever it is. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. And then after the 7th year, I was going on 8 years, I realized that if I did not have a relationship, I would be that woman with the gray hair and the turquoise and the cats. And I'm allergic to cats. And I can remember having that awareness of, okay, they do say that relationships make life better. I have not really experienced that. My husband sort of put the exclamation mark on you don't want to have a relationship because love is grand, divorce is 100 grand or more. So I had that moment, and I remember when I was in Vegas, I said, if something doesn't change, right, I'm gonna close up, literally and figuratively. So
Join the
that was the
nunnery, join
moment
the
of
convent.
that was the moment of clarity. And then to be honest, the most difficult thing was carving out the time, because I hate jobs. I love my work. And I love my work. Like, I'm not the person that, I got to go to work. I love my work. And 88% of it I love doing. 12% of the time I don't, but the 88% is the majority. So when I do swipe or no swipe, trying to even fit that in is perceived as I don't have time for a relationship. So mine's kind of the opposite. I have to communicate and act in a way that I want a relationship.
Yeah, and that's very law of attraction. It's very true. You put that energy out there and do it. But I've been having a shift lately in the way that I look at things, and realizing that, you ever meet people and things just seem to fall into their lap and life just feels easy for them, And I'm like, how is it that they are in this like flow state and I'm not, at time? I'm not saying I'm not, but there's certain times when I'm like, man, this just seems so easy for them. And I think you can create some of that, or you can approach life with an arms wide open posture and just be present. And when you're present in your own life and not thinking, oh, I should, or, if you're regretting the past or you're shoulding yourself about your future, you're not mentally and fully spiritually present in the moment. And I think you can miss opportunities. It's like that parable where, some people of faith were on the roof of this house, during a flood, and they're like, Lord, please save me. And, someone comes by in a boat and says, jump in. And they're like, no, 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 the Lord's going to save me. A rescue helicopter comes and, no, the Lord's going to save me. And these people, finally, they get washed away and they're, fighting for their lives. And Lord, I thought I had faith. I thought you were supposed to save me. He said, I sent you a boat and a helicopter. Well, what's your issue? So sometimes things happen in ways that, we can't understand, we can't plan for or expect, and we can't manufacture ourselves. So my shift is that it's important to be mindful, intentional, and invest time in the thing you care about. But it's also so important to be present and to really see and perceive the way that the universe is already conspiring in your favor without you having to necessarily do anything. Sometimes things just work when you have the intention and then you let life happen. I think there's a balancing act between making your best life and letting life happen.
Absolutely. When to hold, when to fold, the serenity prayer, the courage to change the things I can. If you're a changer, mover, forcer, manipulator, you might want to do the accept the things that I cannot change for sure. Something came up. I did not tell you about a very quick relationship. This chapter in my book lasted 5 days. So it was a very intense. You actually met him, but at that time it was not anything. I know you had to go to, I hope you landed that thing you had to go to that day. Anyways, the audition. So what I realized was this is a point I'd like to get your point of view on this, or your pointed view of this. When people say we can date and I have to, it's always friends first, right? And then romance. And I said, nope, I have friends. It's like Jerry Seinfeld's Here's a Quarter. I have a lot of friends. I love my friends, and it takes time to have friendships. So when I'm dating specifically for not a friend, but for a date, for a relationship. And of course, we're going to be friends, but the romance and the relationship is my number one, whatever. And that broke us up. So, yeah, because he didn't think that I was serious, or I didn't think, I knew he was serious, but it's like I did not want to, like, how do you deal with that difference? Is it just one of those, I have cats and I'm allergic to cats, or is it something that you have to come to the middle around?
Yeah. One thought that popped into my head, and it's an interesting take, is I think sometimes and this isn't, just for you, this could be him too. I didn't hear what he said or what you said, but sometimes we can talk ourselves out of, potential between one another by putting labels on things and saying, well, I want to be friends first. Oh, well, I want to have the romance first. Well, why do we have to, say that so declaratively and firmly? The two kind of can happen in parallel, and, a belief on whether you have to be friends first shouldn't negate what is currently happening between you and the other person. So sometimes if we're too rigid or firm in our beliefs, we can miss what's going on right in front of us. So, even if there's a philosophical difference about that, you know, what that might translate to is the romance might be slow to grow for him. It might be fast for you. But so what? If you're both enjoying the time you're spending together and it's going well, what your beliefs are on whether you're friends first or romance first, it doesn't have to matter as much. So I don't know if this happened between the two of you, but I guess my word of caution would be make sure that you don't talk or philosophize yourself out of something good happening in the moment.
Mm-hmm. I agree that it doesn't sound at one level as a deal breaker, right?
Right.
Is what you're saying. But I think both of us knew underlying that there were some critical differences that maybe aren't showing up as critical now, but when you are fundamentally different, but you have you are, what's that word? You're compromising like from get go, right? So it's kind of like cat dog, right?
And that's a compatibility issue. And we've talked
Right.
about, compatibility being the most important ingredient. But, I go back and forth in my own life on that compatibility piece where it's like, okay, I don't see right now in this moment how something long-term can last. But also in this moment, I am enjoying this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was from the movie Brokeback Mountain, they're trying to, negotiate how they deal with their torrid love for one another. And one of the cowboys, I don't remember if it was Jake Gyllenhaal or Heath Ledger, goes, well, maybe we just ride it till it bucks us, And so, there's something to be said for enjoying what you have in the moment, even if you don't see long-term potential. Because when you look at your roadmap of life, how you got to where you are today, and if you were to go back 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and ask yourself, is this how I thought I would get here? Odds are, for most people, we got to where we got to by crazy ways and happenstances and, decisions that we never could have predicted. So, I think to prematurely say, look, there's a fundamental difference. I don't see a long-term future. Let's cut it off now. Sometimes that's appropriate, especially if you don't want to waste time. But there's also a lot of value for if you're enjoying it in the moment, enjoy it and just see what conspires to either make things work or not, And
I enjoyed it for 3 days and I was totally in it. And then to counterbalance what you're saying, I don't disagree with you, but when you have this kind of angst, right? And difference so early, right? Like it shouldn't be this difficult this early. That's my point.
Oh, sure. I mean, if it's difficult and it's causing you to not enjoy the moment,
right.
Well, then, but if you're enjoying the moment, even if you don't see a long-term future, like they say in AA, one day at a time, maybe that's good advice for life,
Yeah. Yes. And at the same time, that also leads to some level of denial, right? Or insanity, going to the tractor for milk, right? When you know that's not what you're okay with and you still do it. So lots of different,
nuance
facets and nuances. And I think that that's a good place to leave it because we're out of time, but, have fun and balance it with insanity. That's my final word. Thank you, James Hawthorn, on Straight Talk with myself. And
as she said, James Hawthorn, now go and have the best weekend and week ever.
It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. All righty.
got your